Hey, welcome back everyone for some more of my Super Mario Bros. 3 Hammer Brothers suit run. And now we're gonna start things off in World 3. Now if you're playing this regularly, you can just go along the left side there and drop the bottom for a fire flower, but naturally I won't be going for that, considering I am doing my Hammer Brother run yet. The bloopers can be kinda tricky to hit with the hammers, but the best part is you can get rid of those lava lotuses with the hammers, which I think is pretty freaking awesome. The red question block has a fire flower, but again, I won't be going for that. And even in this area right here makes it extremely easy with the Hammer Brother suit, just again because you can use the hammers on the lava lotus here. One-ups don't count as power-ups, so I'm good in that department. There we go! That's not too bad. However, I gotta be honest, there's a few stages here that really scared the crap out of me in doing this attempt in World 3, and you'll see which ones I'm talking about later on. Now in this stage, you can do a continuous Starman trick by hitting that one, I think it's the middle block that was in that L-shaped platform there. I didn't worry too much about getting the hammers and hitting the Cheep Cheeps because, let's face it, it's kind of hard to aim the hammers at the Cheep Cheeps, not only with you on the moving platform, but how the hammers arc, as well as how the Cheep Cheeps move. Just 2 minutes into this recording, I already got the first 2 levels done. Yeah, this world has some pretty tricky spots, and this is one of the levels I'm talking about, which, I don't know how I didn't get eaten there, but I'm not sure if this thing is called Boss Bass or Big Bertha. I'm pretty sure it's Boss Bass. And I did try to aim with the hammer suit, which I do get the hang of it eventually, but this is one of those stages that really scared the crap out of me, like I just said. And if you think this stage is bad, wait till you get to World 3-8. What I like to do, even whenever I'm doing this the traditional way, is just wait until the thing ebbs up, the platform and terrain ebb up, and that way I can just make my ascent, or should I say, make my progress throughout the level then. Thankfully, you shouldn't find yourself in an area where you're gonna find yourself being lunch for the Boss Bass here. There we go, 3 stars and I get a 5-up. Kinda breaking with my tradition in the last video where I got Mushroom Star. And once again, World 3 Hammer Brothers are ridiculous on here. Just gotta make sure you don't get hit by their hammers and just fight fire to fire. Or in this case, fight hammer with hammer. And this is the first fortress in World 3. And yes, I did say first fortress because there is another fortress after this, which I will be doing. Which I have to do because that's part of the challenge here, but which, if I would have lost my Hammer Brother suit there, I would not have been very happy at all. As usual, dry bones, thwomps, and boos are no match for the Hammer Brother suit here. If you know where to go in this fortress, this is extremely easy. Just remember it's the 6th door, and you should be okay. I don't know why, I just find that really amusing. But yeah, it only took 1 hammer for that Boom Boom in order to take him down. Here's a rather interesting stage because this is pretty much a normal level in a sea world. Which, A, I swear I pushed jump there, and B, this is a terrible level to lose the Hammer Brothers suit on, especially what happens later on. Not only do you have that Paragoomba dropping the Micro Goombas, which would have been helpful with the Hammer Brothers suit, but you have this Lakitu, which is a pain in the neck, which if I would have had my Hammer Brothers suit, I would have just chucked a hammer at him and would have gotten rid of him that way. But anyways, I managed to beat the level regardless. Starting to run out of hammer suits. And this is the first level we get to see the Gelectros, which are those electric jellyfish up there. And as you can see here, they are immune to the hammers that you throw at them. Trying to get that blooper there, but I did manage to get that cheap, which I'm not quite sure how. That was just pure luck, I'll admit. The Gelectro shouldn't be that hard to avoid. I mean, as long as you're careful, you should be okay. I know a lot of people don't like underwater levels in Mario games. I don't know, I love them, whether they're 2D or 3D. I love underwater levels. I know they can be tricky, but at the same time though, just because they're tricky doesn't mean that they're bad levels or anything, it's just they provide another challenge. Because let's face it, a game would be pretty boring if it was the same thing level after level after level, and I think the underwater levels in Mario games provide a pretty nice challenge, and I think they are fair despite people, well, some people thinking that the water physics are weird in them, but then again, anyone behaves differently in water than as they would be on the ground, so... But we're already halfway through World 3. And here's another athletic stage, which puts me in mind a little bit of World 1-4. Whatever you do, please be careful around those rotary discs. Those rotary platforms, I should say. See, I was gonna say rotary platforms, and I thought of the roto discs from the Fortress levels. There are some one-ups in some of these blocks here that are, as you can see, they're like the double-decker platforms there, the double layer, I should say. But I don't remember which ones they are, and I already have 92 lives. It's not like I really need extra lives at this point, so I didn't even bother showing them. Again, the goal is not to show everything off on a level. The goal is just simply to complete the level. And considering I am doing each and every level in this game, I really didn't feel like spending a whole lot of time on just one level. As you can see here, I'm trying to get the Koopa here. Of course, make sure you keep jumping or else you'll fall through, the donut lifts will fall underneath you. Which I did not get my third star there. I got star mushroom, but I still get a 1-up for my efforts. I'm certainly not going to complain about that. And here's one of the most famous levels in the game, and here's the World 3-7, which has these enemies, which are quite rare in this game. And I think this is the only level in the game that has these platforms, these green platforms, which I think are pretty cool. I actually recreated this level on Super Mario Maker. As a matter of fact, I did it as part of Nintendo Addict's series that he made, where he had people on Discord make, or should I say, recreate or remix Super Mario Bros. 3 levels. And somehow, each and every level in this game got recreated, and I think everybody in that contest did a fantastic job at it, which I accidentally activated that fire flower there. But the goal was not to touch it. But yeah, I was very pleased at how everybody did. Of course, I think that my levels really weren't that great compared to everybody else's, but I had fun. As a matter of fact, I did 3 levels for that little thing that Nintendo Addict had, and I had a blast doing each and every one of them. Now, I will say right now, so there's no surprises, I do accidentally get a fire flower here, which I know technically means that I failed the challenge, but at the same time though, I don't actually, which, looking at this footage again, it's kind of weird how I managed to get that to begin with, but I was actually gonna edit this out, but I figured, you know what, I want to be as transparent as I can in this run, so I did want to show you guys that I did indeed goof up on this. But there is a big reason why I left it on here, this particular piece of footage on here. As you can see here, you really gotta watch out for Big Bertha here. Is she there? Which, I just called her Big Bertha. I just realized that. I'm not quite sure if it's Big Bertha or Boss Bass. I'm pretty sure it's Boss Bass, but I'm not exactly sure on that. But we'll get back to that one later. And now we're off to the fortress, the second fortress in World 3. This fortress really shouldn't be that bad at all, especially with the Hammer Brothers suit. Of course, make sure you don't get hit by the Roto Disc. Yeah, as long as you're careful, this really should not be that hard at all. Now, these stretch enemies right here, they can be a pain in the neck, normally, but since I have the hammer suit, you can just chuck hammers at them and they'll go away instantly. But yeah, going back to that previous level, 3-8, I know technically I failed the challenge by getting that fire flower, but the way I look at it is, I did not beat the level with the fire flower, so if I have to look at it, well, if I kind of have to cheese my way out of it, or explain myself out of it, at least I did not beat the level with the fire flower, so in my eyes, the challenge is still on. And it was a good thing I did get killed there just because of that, because I do want to complete a level with either the Hammer Brothers suit or just being regular Mario or Small Mario. I did not want to beat a level with anything other than those 3 scenarios. And while I was talking there, you could see that Boom Boom was flying around, which, if you have if you have the Hammer Brothers suit, it's actually better just to have him fly. That way it makes things easier on you. You can just chuck hammers from him from below him. Yeah, this could be a very intimidating level, even if you're playing this game normally. Okay, I almost screwed up here. And my aim is just awful. Okay, this time I'm gonna take the top route. And that is my biggest piece of advice, especially for this level. Try to get the high ground as much as you can. Which, I'm not trying to do an Obi-Wan from Star Wars Episode 3 there, but yeah, as long as you find the high ground and stick to it, you should be fine. But yeah, that level is not to be trifled with whatsoever by any means, so yeah, if you can lose as little or as few lives as possible in that stage, please do, because that is certainly one level where anyone can lose a staggering number of lives, especially with Boss Bass swimming around. I gotta admit, that's the first time I've ever seen that Paragoomer get stuck in a pipe like that. I don't think I've ever seen it get stuck like that before. This level shouldn't be too bad. And this is another one of those things where Mario Maker kind of spoiled me because, which by the way, there was a fire flower in that middle music block, but in Mario Maker, the bullet bills move much slower than what they do in this game. Same thing with the boos. They move a lot faster in this game than what they do in Mario Maker. And not having played this in a while, I kind of got caught off guard a little bit by how fast they moved. And there we go! We got 3 stars and 5 more extra lives. Which is gonna come in handy. And now it's off to probably my least favorite Koopaling to fight in the game, and that is Wendy O. Koopa. Which is a little bit of a spoiler there. I probably could have waited to say that until I got to her, but I'm sure many of you have already played this game by now, so it really shouldn't be that big of a spoiler. And no, I'm not reading this again because he says the exact same thing throughout each castle, so I'm not even gonna waste time on that. Things can get kind of crazy in this airship if you're not careful. And this is where I do something really stupid here. For some reason, I thought I could jump up and over that log there, but obviously I couldn't, and I end up getting stuck. Yeah, I completely forgot about that and made me look like an idiot, but yeah, I could use an anchor here, but again, I'm not allowed to use any item in my inventory other than a Hammer Brothers suit, so... And I think it was around this time too where I had to go and get my charger for my gamepad because my gamepad was about ready to die, and that's what I look at in order to record this footage, so... It's gonna take just a little bit here before I get moving again. I just wanted to make sure everything was ready and that. I honestly thought my gamepad would last until I was done recording this, but it started flashing, and I'm like, gosh darn it, gamepad. And I don't like how short of a battery life the gamepad has. You know how Nintendo says that after an hour you should take a break, which that really got me steaming losing that Hammer Brothers suit there. I was not happy whatsoever. But, like I was saying before, you know how in some games Nintendo says, like, after an hour to take a break? I think they purposely made the battery life of the gamepad short on purpose, just to try to get people to take a rest after an hour. And the way I look at it is, let me decide when I want to take a break. I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, they want you to play their games, but at the same time, they don't want you playing them for too long, which is really weird, but... Anyways... But yeah, especially like right now, I'm playing Super Mario Odyssey right now. I can't imagine for just playing that for just an hour at a clip. As you can see here, the main thing with Wendy O. Koopa here is avoiding her rings and... Oh. Needless to say, that's one of those things where I'm glad I'm doing this commentary live, now and not live, because if I've been doing this commentary live, you probably would have heard me say every cuss word in the book after that. That was so rotten by Wendy O. Koopa throwing that ring just as I was jumping on her. Which I almost did the same thing there. And as you can see there, bullet bills are not immune to hammers. Which really isn't a practical thing, eliminating them with hammers, but just to show that you can indeed throw hammers at them and they will go away. And of course, naturally, not only do I lose my hammer suit, but I'm small again. Which, I really don't like fighting Wendy O. Koopa small because I really don't have a good chance at all of beating her with just one hit point, basically. Like I said, she's probably my least favorite Koopaling to fight against in the game, just because of how rotten she can be, especially with the timing of her rings. The rings themselves aren't too bad because you can actually watch where they're going, but when she releases her rings, it's very erratic. I mean, she could release them immediately after she pops out of her shell, she could wait a little bit, you just don't know. Her RNG is just really tricky like that, but luckily I was able to finally beat her, and I am finally done with World 3, which I'm gone on about 20 minutes here recording, and yeah, it was at this point I'm like, if I would have recorded this anymore, I would have been livid. You see that king kind of looks a little bit like Mario from Super Mario Bros. 2, but a bit pudgier and wearing a green robe. And he says the same thing all the other kings say. Greetings! The white block contains magic powers that will enable you to defeat your enemies. I have enclosed a jewel that helps protect you, Princess Toadstool. There's nothing magical about the white blocks. They're just blocks that you just throw, but anyway, we're gonna leave off here and we're gonna start World 4 in the next episode, so thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.